Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. As always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I guess I'm going to entitle this video, Try Your Best Not to Get Sick. I mean, of course, try to avoid contracting COVID-19, but just overall, try your best not to. Now, things happen. It's totally out of your hands. You can't foresee it, and it is what it is. Now, I'm going to try to make this story real short because I actually did this video about 30 minutes ago, about 2 hours ago. And I talked for about 20 minutes. I was like, no, I need to condense that. So I deleted it. So I'm trying to condense it. What happened was many years ago, my wife was on her way to work. She accidentally slipped on a patch of ice, fell, and has had off and on reoccurring back issues ever since. And it was normally like 1 to 2 days, back just feeling kind of stiff, kind of uncomfortable, but you can get through the day. As we get older, things get sometimes worse. And her back has been causing her problems or pain for like the last 2 weeks. So I said, I need to take you to the ER tomorrow morning because she didn't want to go right then. So I took her. I said, let's get out of here by 6:30 so we can get there early. Because normally, if I have to go to the emergency room, which I did about 2 months ago with the issues I was dealing with, stomach hurting really bad, that's to me one of the worst feelings. None of them are pleasant. The headaches, the toothaches, the earaches, none of them are pleasant. But for me personally, the stomach ache is the one that just take me out. So I went about 2 o'clock in the morning, middle of the week. I got in, was taken in the back 30 minutes after getting there, which wasn't a long time, not at all. And they took care of me, and I was hoping they was going to keep me overnight since I got there that early. I was like, I'm tired now. But they gave me medication, gave me follow-up information, booted me up out of there. So I took my wife Sunday. And again, I'm going to try to condense this. It was just amazing. And I can't use the word amazing because that really is a positive word. I guess it was disheartening to experience what we experienced because they said that due to COVID-19, all the beds were full and the doctors were busy, and it could be a 20-hour wait. That's 2 shifts plus a couple extra. I was like, who can endure that? So we stayed there for about 7 hours, and then we realized that we ain't gonna see nobody anytime soon. And we were quite thankful that the condition that she was dealing with was not a life-threatening condition where it's like, I got to stay because I can't go home and just lay down. It's going to get better. So we opted to just leave. And, she needs to take it a little more easier, take a couple of days off and just relax. The heating pad, if you really in a lot of physical pain, we take a Vicodin and just try to lay down and just try to let the body heal itself, because it will, unless there's something else going on. So we were one of the fortunate ones, because there was this one lady that came behind us, and I felt really bad for her. She was an older woman. She was just groaning and groaning, and her son was still trying to comfort her, try to get her through this. And I felt really bad that they're going to sit there till the next day. It's like old school when you're a kid and you have to go to the county. It's Monday. We'll see you Wednesday, So it was just, I was taken back by what we were experiencing there, because I come to realize this. There are a lot of young people that have some serious mental issues. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm not trying to be funny. There was these 2 people there, and they were under 25 years old. Stone cold crazy, It's like, you need medical attention. Because one of my doctors that passed away a couple of years ago, well, no, he retired. I don't know why I said that. Maybe because he retired. Haven't seen him. He retired on my birthday, which was the saddest birthday I ever had. And he was talking to me. He was saying it's a shame how things are not getting better. They're getting worse. Because in the 50s and the 60s and even up to the 70s, people that needed mental health care service, there were buildings. Entire buildings dedicated to that treatment. Then it started to shrink. You went from a building to a wing in a hospital to one guy in the office, you know. And unfortunately, the police handle that matter really bad, and it's not totally their fault because this is not what they're supposed to be doing. You know, back in the 50s when you had mental health issues, they would call the hospital, two big dudes show up with white tops, white outfits on, and take you out. Instead now, they call the police on you. The police don't know what to do. They show up. Instead of sending you to the hospital, which is where you belong, they take you to jail and lock you up like you're a criminal. You know, and sometimes these people end up dying as a result of interactions with the police. So the guy, and I got to introduce the security guard, police officer that was there. He did a great job. You know, he went well beyond the call of duty because he had to tell that one guy that had mental issues at least 10 times, please sit down because he's up dancing and got a football with him. Like, who brings a football to the ER? And, you know, he told him about 10 times, please, sir, sit down. You know, the next time that I have to tell you this, I'm going to have you escorted out of here. You know, and he had his phone real loud, even though he had earplugs. He kept taking off, and the cop was, please turn that down, man. You know, and then the guy talking crazy. I ain't got my paperwork yet. What are you talking about? You don't get paperwork. You get paperwork when you've already seen the doctor to be discharged. So he was just rambling on about nothing. And then the guy walked in, started panhandling. Like, huh? Well, you got a 50 cent. I want to get on the bus and get home. I was eager to give him the 50 cents so he can get up on the bus and go home. I didn't have any change. My wife gave him $1. Then he switched it to, I'm hungry and I want to get some out the machine. That's what he told the cop. Then the cop said, are you being waited on or are you trying to see a doctor? Yeah. So he went and, you know, registered. Then he came and tried to sit next to me, and there was another dude that had that spot. And I told him, I said, dude, the other dude got that spot because I didn't want him to sit next to me. I'm like, you already came in begging me, man. I don't want to talk to you. I just want to wait this out and let my wife, you know, get the medical treatment she needs. So there was another guy, because there's a cast of characters on this in this story, and like I said, I'm gonna try to condense this. Guy walked in while he was already there when we walked in, and then when I went to park the car, he was out there talking with another guy, and then he engaged in quick conversation with me, and I spoke to him, and he was talking about the weather. It's amazing how the weather changed so quick. And I'm saying to myself, it's December, dude. It's supposed to be cold. And it ain't, the last 5 days has been consistent. There's not been no drastic change in the weather, but he's just trying to create a little banter. And like, we ain't here for that, man. None of us are here for this. So he running around talking to everybody, just running his mouth, mask hanging down. And the security guard cop said, man, put your mask back up, man. And I'm saying to myself, you shouldn't even be talking, man. You know, this is how it gets spread. All them spores popping out. And what you're talking about ain't even necessary, you know. So he was up there at the counter. And this guy had to be my age, if not older. And it was this young woman behind the counter, very attractive. She's probably about in her mid-20s. He trying to mac to her. Are you single? And then the guard seen and said, dude, what are you doing? And he said, these are our women. You know, we don't let nobody bother our women. Like I said, he went well beyond the call of duty and the gal was like, oh, she said she was single. I'm saying to myself, I have no idea why you would think that this young woman would be interested in you, especially under these circumstances. You coming in here, she don't know what you got, you know? And then the security guard got tired of, you know, telling this man to sit down and be quiet. And he asked him, he said, are you waiting for a doctor? Or waiting to be seen? And the guy said, no. He's like, get out of here, man. Why are you even here? Get out of here. And then he left. It's like, who hangs around the ER at 6:30 in the morning when he ain't got to be there? A cast of clowns. Then there were several other people. And I asked the guard, I said, you know, because the nurse is busy. I said, let me just ask you this question. Are all the seats, because he said, this is all over the city right now. The hospitals are booked to capacity. I said, is this because of COVID? He said, absolutely. You know, and along with a small percentage of, if there was no COVID right now, you know, you got people getting knifed, getting shot, getting into fights, or somebody hitting their car or whatever. These unexpected incidences that cause you to go to the emergency room. So he said, yeah. He said, this is what's causing this. Because I'm like, I was here 2 months ago and it wasn't like this. He said, it's gotten worse. And I'm going to say this because this is the point of the story. Now, I just seen this on the news. It couldn't have been 2 weeks ago. Now, mind you, this is 2021. We do have a vaccine, and the vaccine is to, I guess, lower the chances of you dying. The vaccine is not a cure, because I think there's some people that just mix the two up and think it's a cure. I can go back to party and doing it. No, you can't. This is going to be here a while, and it's going to be here even longer because people won't take the necessary precautions. They still kind of playing with this. Think it's a joke. You know, I'm looking at these guys in the ER. They got their mask off, constantly talking about nothing, and then they going to get on cigarette breaks. I'm like, who does that when they come to the ER? I'm going to take a cigarette break. This is probably one of the reasons why you're here. You know, a couple of them went out and then they come back, don't have their mask, like little kids and lost it. And again, the security guard was on top of it. He said, "Sir, where's your mask?" Oh, blah, blah. Gave another. Put this on, man. Instead of walking back in here, smelling of stinky smoke, and then you don't have your mask on. I'm like, there could be a possibility that somebody sitting in here does have the virus. And we got to get exposed to this and sitting here for hours. You know, so it's just so sad that as a result, well, let me just say this because I veered off as far as what I've seen in the statistics. They said more people died this year, and mind you, we do have a vaccine, and now a booster. This year, more people died than last year when we had no booster, had no shot, had no vaccine. Vaccine. And you ask yourself, how is that possible? It's real simple. This year, people are still thinking that they got cured because they got a vaccine. Some of them refused to take it. That's why it's gotten worse, because it's still spreading because people are not taking it serious. They're not standing 6 feet away from you. They come walking in the establishment with no mask on. They know they're supposed to have mask on. And if you mention it to them, they get ready to start fighting. Nonsense. You know, so it's just so sad that we could be in a better state if people just take this serious. You know, one of my closest, dearest friends, I look at her as a mother figure. She won't take the vaccine. You know, and I'm like, it's not any of my business, but in a sense it kind of is, because you can get infected and infect other people. You're not going to infect me, because ever since this been kind of kicked off, and she refused to take a vaccine because I would take her to the store. I'm like, I can't do that no more. You know, we talk on the phone. I'm not going over there no more. I did have to drop some stuff off, but I dropped it off and she came down, picked it up, and I was going on my way back to the car. But this is not about your personal decision, because your personal decision, unfortunately, is everybody else's decision too, whether you like it or not, or we like it or not. You know, what I do or lack of will affect someone else, possibly because I'm out here with no mask on, haven't been vaccinated, and I still go places. It's different if you just shut yourself off into your house or your apartment for a couple of years. That's fine, you know, but we got to get around. Got to go get something to eat. We got to go to the doctor's appointments, go to the pharmacy, you know, but it was a circus there. It's like, man, you know, this one young woman, you could tell she had mental issues. She's laying on the floor. And I'm saying to myself, there should be hospitals where they start to realize that people that come in, some of them are really sick. They can barely stand up. You know, they need to lay down until they're called to be taken care of. You know, they should start creating these emergency rooms where they have a couple of beds out there so people can just lay down. You know, because the woman apparently was in a lot of distress because she was having stomach issues too, and she laid on the floor and said, "You can't lay there." And it's like, well, where can I lay? Because I need to lay. You know, I'm so sick I could barely stand up. So she threw up, and the guy wasn't happy about that. He's like, why didn't you take these bags if you know you was going to throw up? Because you usually know when you're going to throw up, or when you think you might throw up, and you preparing yourself. Because when I went to the ER, I was throwing up. I had my little bucket. And then I went in the bathroom, stayed in there for a while, and had that bucket and was throwing up. And still I come in having stomach ailments. I don't have a bag. I don't have a bucket. I don't ask people for a bag. You know, and she threw up all over the floor, and he had to help pick that up or mop it up, and he wasn't happy. You know, and I felt bad for her because I'm like, you know, she's sick. And she has, you know, some serious mental issues. So she and the rest of those people who couldn't leave, then had the luxury to say, well, I'll just go home and just take it easy and, you know, I'll get better. I felt sorry for the ones that didn't have that option because me and my wife is like, and I will stay there with my wife as long as it takes. She wants to stay, but she's like, she looked at me, she's like, let's go. I'm like, okay. So we got up out of there, but it was just so sad to see all that behavior, all this lack of awareness of you need to keep your mask on. I mean, I didn't like the idea of having this mask on for 5, 6, 7 hours, but I'm like, hey, you got to do what you have to do. It's not about your preference or you comfortable, you uncomfortable, you don't like it, It's about doing the right thing. And that's the reason why we have all these additional cases versus last year. I seen a video a couple of weeks ago of these people partying, I think it was in New York, and it was packed like a concert, no room. Everybody just all squeezed up together. None of those people had a mask. None of them. Not one. And we're still in the middle of this. That's a good example of why things are so jacked up right now. And they're going to get worse until some people are literally forced to do what they're supposed to do instead of what they want to do. That's totally different if your decision only affected you. But that's not the case here. No, it's not the case. Nobody signed up for this. Nobody signed up to get sick. Nobody signed up to die. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to end this. It's a terrible way to die because basically what happens is you start to lose your oxygen capacity, slowly over a couple of days. Because I can't think of any disease right now that you get sick on Monday and then you have an underlying condition like diabetes or something of that nature. You contract it on Monday. It's a possibility by the end of the week you're dead. What kills that quick? Cancer don't kill that quick. Heart attacks don't unless you have a massive one, a deadly one. But only thing I can say, and again I'm going to sign off, please take this serious. Stop walking into establishments with no mask on and waiting for the employees who shouldn't have to do this challenge you because you just want to do what you want to do. I know young folks want to party, but guess what? If you just stick it out another year or two, you can party all you want, But if you decide that you can't wait and you're out there with no mask on, you go home and you healthy, you give it to grandmama. Grandmama dead in 2 weeks because of you. Your urge to go out and shake your tail, We got to wait. We just simply got to wait it out. So I hope that people start to come around the people that haven't because they're causing a lot of this. All those bills should not have been for. We got a vaccine now that helps 99% effective. If you don't die, if you catch it, you most likely won't die. Not 100%, but most of us will survive it, But please, do your part. Do your part. I was just offered a gig which was a dream gig. It was one of my idols, Captain Sky. I grew up with Sky. I was a little dude. He lived 2 blocks away from me. I used to go over his house and his band be practicing in the garage. I'm like, man, they funky. I wish one day I can get that good. And then, years later, he tapped me and said, man, you got much better. I knew you were a good musician and up and coming, but I seen you recently on some of your YouTube videos and you playing everything, playing bass and guitar, And he's like, I want you to work with me on my next project. I said, you're my idol, man, and I would love to work with you. It's an honor, but I'm staying put. Trying to wait this thing out. So till next time, take care. Please keep your mask on. Please get your shots. Get your boosters. Get your regular shots. Keep your distance, because this ain't over. 6 feet away. Hand pound, none of that hugging and kissing stuff, because it's the holiday. It's okay. No, it ain't. You might have taken a vacation away from COVID-19, but COVID-19 hasn't taken a vacation away from you. And I'm going to sign off now. Leave you with that. Till next time, take care. Thanks for watching.